I'm Nate from Neko-Maoh. Regrettably, on the episode that we're going to air from tonight, we ran into some technical difficulties with our audio and we lost the episode. So, to give you a solid recap of what happened so that you're not going to miss any of the extra story going on, we have prepared a short little recap for you that will be familiar here instead before going on to the next episode. So, sit back and enjoy this retelling and some pictures drawn by our very own Jamie. When Chodrak opens his eyes, he does not see a wagon but a room. There are rows of bookshelves, though they are mostly empty. At the front is a stone throne, and behind him, a curtain covers a simple doorway that he just opened. This room is quite magical, and is likely the source of magic that Atsi was telling me about. He peeks around and looks at the books. They are quite basic, storybooks, arcane spell basics, and the like. Chodrak goes to touch the throne, touching the arm. He feels it vibrating, and a little tickle starts in the back of his head. He jumps to sit on the throne. It is quite nicely sized for him, being on a smaller size. His vision fades to black, and a new scene appears in front of him. He sees this same room, but the shelves are full of books with people all of it. His hand reaches over, and as he looks at it, it's a knobby green hand. Walking up to him is someone that he faintly recognizes but can't quite place. She is a tiefling. She looks familiar, but not quite right for some reason. As he looks at this tiefling and reads the magical energies coming off of her, he recognizes that the energies are the same energies as the ones that were holding the yoke aloft in his vision. He can't make out what she says to him. It feels like it's memory he's watching. He reaches out and pats the tiefling. Then everything swaps, and now he's in the tiefling's body looking at the goblin. And it is, in fact, the same goblin they've been traveling with, Taba. As the tiefling, it looks more familiar. Then the vision fades, and he's back to himself. He heads back to the door and carefully peeks out, looking around the back of the wagon. He doesn't see anyone, but hears voices. The rest of the group stands talking to Taba. They've been digging since Gamesworn came, and even longer. They're looking for a library. It once held the knowledge of the nation of Taba, long before it was even Taba. It's of the primordial magic beings that existed long ago, as well as another civilization, long gone, wiped out by their own father. He lost track of how old he was, and he says these are all painful memories. He lost track of his age probably 700 years ago. He wasn't in the library, but he ran a smaller library. When asked if he knows where the library is, he says no, but it's that way-ish to the north. The land doesn't look the same, and it was a long time ago. His city lived above a lake, but it flew, held in place there by strong magical energy. The people of this city are all dead, though there might still be others. He was the keeper of knowledge. He's immortal. Chodrak sneaks out of the wagon and rejoins the rest of the group. Kazel knows stuff about the group, stuff that they didn't tell him. Haley wants to know how he knows so much, and this is because he's a keeper of knowledge. But he hasn't had as much knowledge now because his books were stolen. Some burned, some stolen, taken by a shadow being. He says that the stronger someone's pull on the strings of times, the easier it is to know about them. He does tell them that he saw Raven's brother in Manza maybe a year ago. He's not lying to the group at all, but he is very confused. Over the next hour, the group continues traveling and then arrives at the gates of Manda, which is much smaller than Kataris. Hanging outside the gate are 10 bodies with a sign saying, "Deserters will be prosecuted." They head in, and the energy is a bit better. There is an air of fear, but the city itself is much nicer, with stone roads and nice houses. You can easily see the guild hall just ahead. Not as nice as the one they were in before, but still nice. Kazel tells them that the mine is in the west, with a little image. Around the library was ice, solid ice and snow, that always seems to be there. He never went there, but saw it through his orb that let him see things far away. The mine is cut into a mountain, not the tallest mountain around. It's small. The group heads to the guild hall. They don't have any rooms to stay in, but they have some taverns to suggest. They head to the Hog's Head Inn. As they arrive, it looks well kept. They step inside and there's a small area to eat and a nice, simple bar. They get a couple of rooms, Chodrak having one to himself. They only pay for one night. Chodrak goes into a room and meditates, and they go to the other to talk. He comes to join the rest of the group after realizing the tiefling was indeed likely him. They sit in the room and chat. Artemius starts looking at maps. The game plan is to go to the market and see what Kazel has to sell, and then maybe go to the guild hall to hire someone to follow Kazel, and then tomorrow head towards the money. They head to the market, but it's a bit slow. They're quickly able to pick out Kazel. Artemius and Absidy sneak into the back while the rest of the group distract Kazel. They start talking to him, asking questions. Artemius heads into the wagon, and the familiar follows. Kaylee wants to climb inside of Kazel's bag that seemingly is bottomless, but to her it looks empty. Sterling sees a red ball about the size of his fist that looks familiar. He tries to play with the ball with the wolves, but they don't go after it. Inside the cart, Artemius sees an empty library with a small stone seat, just as Chodrak had seen. Absidy heads inside and they head right to the throne. They can tell everything is magical, and can now tell what some of the spells were that Absidy was feeling before. The chair is currently empty of magic. Artemius and Absidy leave the wagon. They head in a wide arc around to meet up with the rest of the group again. They go to a cold weather stall and get the clothes that they are going to need for their journey. Sterling has the teenage boy steal some of his money. He tries to catch him, but the kid slips out. The rest of the group notices, and Kaylee makes a tiny hut and stops him. Kaylee asks his name, and after some convincing, he says it's Chip. He says he doesn't have any money. But when they shake him, it jingles. Sterling turns him upside down, and a pouch falls out. It has 70 silver in it, even though Sterling is only missing 10. The group finds out that the boy's parents got cold in the cold just a week ago, and that he is taking on some of the other kids and trying to keep them safe. Raven gives him some fancy clothes to sell, and Sterling lets him keep the money. But also, they charge him to keep an eye on Kazel, and that when they return, they'll ask and see what he can tell them. The group splits up. Raven sets up a quick tattoo stall. Beverly does some browsing. Sterling plays with the ball and tries to look under his wooden medal to see if he has some human parts. As Kazel said, he isn't all metal. Absidy sits near Raven and reads. Sterling then buys himself a pickaxe. Kaylee looks at the weapons, and Chodrak looks for someone who might know information about his staff. The group heads back to the inn, gets dinner, and goes to the room to chat. Artemius and Absidy tell everybody about the wagon. Then they pull out the map to the west and plan for the day before heading to bed. Dawn breaks. The group heads downstairs. And then, from behind them, in Brixera's voice, they hear, "Hello, my veterans."
Hey everyone, thanks for watching our newest library of Taba video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to check out our other campaign going on right now, the Pillars of Sypetia. They're a pretty wacky group over there, and we have some real interesting shenanigans. Tune in next week, and we'll see you then. Thanks!